Okay, this is Africa Beat. We are here as usual, and we are delighted to be here. We are also sorrowful to have lost, I thought now they said about 6,000 something human beings of all nationalities at the World Trade Center and at the Pentagon. We sympathize with them. We extend our condolences again to the relatives, the family, the loved ones of all those who lost their life at the last attack on the World Trade Center and the Pentagon. We are very, very concerned about responses from all the African countries, in particular, the world as a whole. But in particular, for example, Tayo has a story he's going to share with us here about what is going on and how the African nations are reacting. So we really want to act with caution. And we're going to talk about President Bush speech last Thursday, what he meant by saying if you either with us or you're with the terrorists, if you're not with the United States on going to bomb and declare war, then you're on the side of the terrorists. That's my interpretation of what he said. And I know I'm neither on both, neither or. I'm neither for the terrorists that definitely don't condone anything violence. Neither am I on the counter-violence leadership of George Bush side. So where am I? Where are you?
I don't know. Yeah, it's what the president said is almost like an implicit threat that either you are on the United States side or you are on the enemy side. We are Americans, and that is the good thing about this country is the freedom of speech, freedom to take, of ideas, and you don't have to. You can condone terrorism, but also, you can go. I'm against terrorism and the killing of any human being. It doesn't matter whether they're in Iraq or they're right here in the United States. I don't believe violence for violence will solve anything. I think we should seek peace in a diplomatic way and check out very deeply our foreign policy of this country. But this is what's happening in Africa and responses to governments in Africa about what happened in New York. In Libya, the Libyan leader, Muammar Gaddafi, warned that the United States on Sunday it could fall into a Soviet-style quagmire in Afghanistan if it retaliates there for the devastating terror attack on New York and on Washington. Gaddafi, who has often assailed Washington for its policy in the Middle East and elsewhere, said the United States had the right to respond militarily to the unprecedented attack in which thousands are feared to have died. But he urged restraint in the fight against terrorism. The United States is a strong and powerful country, he said, but would be bravery to attack Afghanistan, a country already destroyed without roads or factories or where people move around on donkeys or in horse cats. That wouldn't solve the problem, he says. So that's Muammar Gaddafi.
He even, in addition to his comment here, here's a direct quote from him. And as you know, Gaddafi is in North Africa. That's an African brother. They've accused him before of condoning or training terrorists. Are we now sure that they're not going to be attacking Libya soon? Because he said he's not involved in terrorism. As you know, even one of his officials are under trial, gone through trial in England for the Lockerbie bombing. I don't know. This whole thing is affecting Africa as a whole, not just Afghanistan. So this is Gaddafi right now in Libya. Sudan, the pharmaceutical factory was bombed. Kenya was bombed. Tanzania was bombed. They're getting ready to go bomb Algeria. Algeria just turned in some few people. But here's what Gaddafi said in quotation again while we continue this whole thing. Today's program is devoted to the whole issue because that's the main issue at stake. That's the issue at stake. He said, Bin Laden and his men will disperse into the mountains, and this could cause another 20,000 deaths. At the open-air rally he attended by several thousands of people where he was speaking, Gaddafi said any attack on Afghanistan will have immediate consequence in other Islamic countries. Immediate consequence is going to spread. He quoted, Afghanistan is a Muslim country. The United States could ensure it gets the support of Islamic governments. You can get the support of the government, but their people could well not adopt the same stand. Just because you got the president to shake hands and promise you, the people might say, we don't want this stuff in our country. You know, the presidents, they think they know better sometimes, but they have to listen to the people. So this is what Gaddafi is saying. Say, we have to be very, very careful that you think you have the support of the government and you don't have the support of the people. Now, saying, mankind has gone mad. They used to call him the madman. But he said the whole of mankind have gone mad. Gaddafi called for an international conference on terrorism, saying past calls to that effect from Libya and Egypt have remained unheeded. He called for an international conference. You see, so that we can sit down and define what is terrorism, what is genocide, what is racism, what is Zionism. What, racism is terrorism too. It's just not with a bomb. When they starve your people, they discriminate against your nationality, they discriminate against your color, and make you not move up the ladder, you terrorize me to stay down. Depends on the eye of the beholder. We should be careful about the term terrorism because Chairman Arafat of Palestine, 12 years ago, they called him a terrorist. Jesse Jackson, our Honorable Reverend Jesse Jackson, however, didn't see him as one. He told him as a freedom fighter. He said, I'm going to talk to this brother so we can make peace. In peace, you get freedom. You get justice, is freedom and peace. No justice, no peace. Jesse Jackson talked to our brother, Arafat, and he reconciled. And then the White House, the government of the United States invited Arafat to the United States, to the White House, a terrorist in the White House. What happened overnight? How did they switch? How did he become a statesman all of a sudden? So that's what we're saying. Bin Laden could be a terrorist in 1 minute. They cut deals and cut oil deals and everything later on. You never know what's going on behind closed doors. It could be their partner. Noriega.
Bin Laden were a partner of the United States when the Soviet Union was in Afghanistan. The United States, backed Bin Laden and the Taliban against the Soviet Union. So now, all of a sudden, you built the Taliban up. Now they're the same people who are now your enemies.
You call them terrorists.
Now they're terrorists. This has happened over and over in the United States.
Black people need to know this.
They have to understand.
People need to know it because the main media, they feed you with one side of the story. We don't condone what happened, but you need to know both sides so you can make your own judgment. Judgment is a scale. It's not
That's
just
right.
what they say. It's either you are with us or you're with the terrorists. President Bush, I respect you, but I disagree with you.
Right.
I'm with Barbara Lee, my congresswoman, who said, I'm neither for war, neither do I condone terrorism. She is a legitimately elected congresswoman in the Bay Area, which is a peace activist environment. We are for peace.
That's right. I agree.
Tired, this continue. Even look at
It's true.
they say Muslims. What is
People that have to realize.
what is this man saying right there? Is he not saying the same thing we're saying? This is Reverend Bishop Tutu.
Bishop Tutu in South Africa, for instance, has urged the United States to respond carefully to last week's suicide hijacking attack in New York, World Trade Center and on the Pentagon. The Nobel Peace Laureate said in an interview last Friday that it was important for Washington to identify first, the attackers.
Is that not the same thing that the Taliban are saying?
You have to identify. You see, today, the way I see what's going on here, do you know that no single Muslim country or group of some have claimed responsibility for this attack?
Usually they do.
This is weird because normally when the Muslims attack or the terrorists or the freedom fighter, whoever side, whatever name you want to call them, attack, either hijack a plane or bomb or they always claim responsibility for this. They always say that we did it, and this is the reason why we did it. You know, they're not doing it for no reason. They're doing it to create an attention, for their reasons, either oppression or political, whatever they're trying to fight for. Do you know that nobody has come out and said, we did this? Even the Taliban denied us.
So who did it?
Who did it?
But what about all those people they're rounding up?
Tunde, that is the United States government. The United States government is saying our information say, there is terror. I mean, we all know there's terrorists in the world. I mean, a lot of bombing has happened in Europe. I mean, Europe know more terrorism than the United States. This is kind of new.
Are you saying that they're going to round up all the IRA in Ireland and
That's
England?
another thing. The IRA, you see, Tony Blair was here, and Tony Blair was going around all these countries. Went to Germany, went to because the IRA, I don't see them calling the IRA terrorist. They bomb innocent people.
They bombed the Buckingham Palace. They bombed. They
go to the subway and kill innocent people. But what are they? Are they terrorists? So it seems like terrorism also is equated with racism. Just like with the racist conference, which they were talking about Zionism. To equate it with racism. And what happened? The United States walked out. Now, when Libya has been calling and Egypt has been calling for a world conference on terrorism. So that we can all discuss it as an international family to see and identify what is terrorism and see how we can, solve this problem. I know United States government is not going to agree to that.
They're not doing that. But Timothy McVeigh.
What would you call Timothy McVeigh?
What is he?
Is he a terrorist? He killed innocent people.
Yeah, there's still many of them around. So are they going to be rounding up all these people instead of just looking for the Arab-looking?
Not only that,
looking for the Arab-looking faces alone is discriminatory.
It is. Timothy McVeigh is white. How many white people were there in a rampage? That doesn't mean all white people
they didn't start arresting all white people. He himself, they wouldn't have even suspected. The first person they want to pick up was a Palestinian family. A wife of a Palestinian man in Oklahoma had a miscarriage because of the fright when they busted their door open and said terrorism have just blown the federal building. But it happened to be a white man. Several white people are around too. So what do we call this militia in Montana? All those people who stay in the trees, with militia uniform training on how to, they call themselves mercenaries. Are they terrorists or not? So we are going to be demanding that all these people should be grouped as terrorism. We should KKK. Why should the Ku Klux Klan be existing? They are terrorists.
They're terrorizing black people of color.
The Ku Klux Klan is a legitimate terrorist group that has been existing. As a matter of fact, some of the people who are calling other people terrorists are members of the Ku Klux Klan. So what do we call those people?
Then you have the white supremacy, in which Timothy McVeigh is part of, that killed thousands of people in
a lot of black people.
Oklahoma. So what would you call that? Terrorist?
We need to know. Let's take the call. Caller, you're on the air. How you doing? Go ahead. Is Cindy around? Okay, well, let me just share. Caller, just stand by.
Just hold on.
This is another story right here. Even the South African government has urged the Bush administration to ensure that America does not provoke more terrorist attacks with its expected military strikes. You see? He said, yeah, I got a call. Let's take the call right quick. Caller, you're on the air. How you doing? Go ahead.
Yeah, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Brother, my brothers. Now, you know, the European been a terrorist for the last 6,000 years. He have terrorized the whole planet Earth. That's why we're in the condition that we're in. Hey, let me turn this down a little bit. And first of all, this country was taken by terrorist people.
Can we get the volume a little bit?
I don't think this speaker here is working.
Can you hear me?
We can hear
A little
this
bit.
speaker here.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
A little bit.
Yeah, let me start all over again. Like I was saying, the European is the first terrorist. For the last 6,000 years, he terrorized this whole planet Earth. Turned it upside down, inside out. Everything he does, he say we do it. And he's the one that does it. Now, like you were saying about Timothy McVeigh, we go back to George Bush, this old man Bush. He belonged to the CIA and the Knights of Columbus, you know, and his son is only a puppet. He tried to finish his job, and he wants all. And how can he say if these other people, the other people on the continent, don't come to his aid, they're against him? Well, does that mean he's gonna fight everybody that don't come to his
Well,
aid?
they're saying that anybody who does not line up on the American side, he's with the terrorists.
Right. So then
So-
I'm on Allah's side. So then I must be a
Yo,
terrorist.
Allah,
I'm on Allah's side.
okay.
I'm on Allah's side.
I'm for peace. Allah is for
Well, that's
peace.
peace. Allah is peace.
Allah is peace. I'm
Allah
for
is
peace.
for peace and justice.
Right.
Yeah,
Peace and
justice and peace.
I'm on his side. Now,
Okay, I'm on that side
now,
too.
if Mr. Bush want to call me a terrorist, I guess I'm a terrorist. But I don't have no knife, no gun, no toothpick. I know he got the power to come around and put us in jail, but who's going to put him in jail?
Gentle, please.
You know,
The noise echoes inside.
who's going to put him in jail? What we got to start doing as bright people, start getting our water together and our food together and find out what's going to happen when this thing happens, how we're going to take care of each other, because we can't depend on him. You got to buy halal food, the best of food. And that's what we got to do. We know what's going to happen.
Thank you.
We know what's going to happen. And the man can't live unless he has war. He's a blood shedder. Ever since he's been on the planet, he's been shedding people's blood. So he don't care about that. He's the one that as far as I'm concerned, that set this whole thing off so he can start a war and have some money.
So you said, what did you say again? You said he created the whole thing?
Yes.
You mean he gonna kill 6,000 American people?
Yeah, brother. For money, he don't care nothing about people. He cares about material, money. He don't care about people.
Now, who will be the suicide missioner? You mean they want to dig up Timothy McVeigh to do it? You mean they have some more suiciders here?
It said they had about 200 that they were loose in here in America someplace. That's what they say. But I mean,
That's what they say. So we need. There's still more to. There's still a lot of questions to answer because
what it is,
how did
brother,
they have the camera there ready? You know, everything was ready. We saw the whole thing like a movie.
yeah.
How did they know there's going to be a bomb? And listen, I was listening to the CNN, and they said the stock market already 1 month ago, the stock market already know that there's going to be a terrorist bomb. So they were buying shares of American Airline, United Airlines,
Those are the two main
and
airlines.
Boeing, and Boeing, which make the plane.
Yeah,
All of a
Boeing,
sudden, a week before the time, they sold it. So that
Somebody knows something.
somebody knows something.
Somebody
Yes,
knows
hey,
something.
I tell you who
Those are
knows.
the airlines that they targeted. The American airline, Boeing,
bought their
that
stock.
makes the plane, and they bought their stock 1 month before this happened.
So are you saying that Osama bin Laden is so sophisticated to come into America, not only to bomb through a plane, but to plan the economic strategies to invest in the stock market, buy the stock? Who's buying all the stock for him?
Well, you know what, brother?
White boys are
Sunday.
representing him.
Excuse me.
Because I don't think Osama can get out of the
Am I
cave.
still on there?
Osama is supposed to be in the cave.
There
right?
is a lot of questions to be asked in this thing.
We ask questions.
It's a little bit fishy right now.
fishy.
And I'm sure that the Bush administration are not really sure who did this.
It's the government, brother.
They know who did it
They
and trying
know
to do
who
some
did it.
cover up.
Excuse me.
There's quite a lot of things that, for instance, I'll give you an example. They showed Palestinian kids in
Dancing on the
Palestine
street.
dancing on the street.
Oh, yeah.
In Palestine at that time, at 10 o'clock over here, it was dark.
It was
nighttime.
night.
But what the clip they showed us was in the daytime where you have Palestinian kids dancing.
Dancing.
So it does not correlate.
that clip was a tape that was over 10 years ago. Even the journalists who
now came out is now coming apologize. So why is that?
How are we sure that?
How are we sure that all the things, most of the things that you showed us, is true?
Are we sure? Because they are now saying that those clips of those kids and grown-up dancing on that
10 years ago
has nothing to do with the bombing.
Now, why did you show it then?
Why did you show it?
And then they talked over it that Palestinian kids are rejoicing because of what happened in New York, so that you can start hating the Arabs. You see, now they're coming out and say, "Oh, that clip was 10 years old." You see what we're talking about?
Yeah,
now, I mean,
it's
something is fishy around this whole thing.
It's the government themselves. It's the government. I mean, it's nobody else but the government. Bin Laden looked like me and you. Bin Laden looked just like me and you. If he'd shaved, you'd think he was a so-called Negro over here. So, I mean, it's the government that's got this whole thing going on. Don't fool yourself. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the call. You got to also remember, Tunde, I was talking to someone who said, I've never seen anything like this before, a friend of mine. I've never seen anything. I said, well, you've never seen anything like Florida before. You've never seen anything when the Supreme Court convened on a Sunday to stop the counting of votes on a Sunday.
And tell you that black
You've
people
never seen anything like that in this country.
You're going to see more.
And
you never see.
You haven't seen nothing yet. Still more coming.
This is serious. Is on that call? Okay. Let's take a call. Caller, go ahead. How you doing?
I'm doing just fine, but I've been listening to what y'all been saying, because, you know, by being a person worked on reparations and seeing what the government, the federal government here in the United States has done to the Negro, the African American here in this country, and the things that went on. This country wants us to fight the fight we got nothing to do with. Now, all of a sudden, we got these flags in the community talking about we're Americans, and all the time we haven't been treated as Americans, you know, in the past. That's just like the elections, all right? Even though we came out and voted in numbers in each different state, but they made a decision on electors. Electors made a decision on the president. It wasn't the people. So the electors, the way they done set it up in the Constitution, where the good old boys done set it up, where even though we come out and vote, but those states, they have the electors to make the decision on the president can make the decision. So they done set everything up that way too in this whole good old country of ours, all right?
The Congress voted to make this decision, and the Congress, with the exception of one favorite vote of mine, Congresswoman Barbara Lee.
Right, so
the
Barbara
whole
Lee,
of the United States Congress,
all
both
right,
in the Senate and in the House, they voted for the president to go to war, to retaliate, and they even give it, he asked for $20 billion.
They doubled it.
They doubled it. They said, take 40. This is the same Democratic Party that used to tell you guys that, oh, I'll represent you guys. They didn't give you money. They give you $300 for taxes, but they doubled the money to go bomb and kill people.
And who's going to pay for this war?
Who's going to pay for it?
Let's think about it. Billions of
Social
tax
security money.
Who is going to pay for it?
this good old country of ours is going to pay for it. They're going to raise the taxes and like now.
Well, they said they're not going to raise taxes.
Just look at what's going on right now because of the bombings. People are losing jobs. You know what I'm saying? People are losing livelihoods. Just by New York being bombed by the airplanes, all right? But as a whole, it's affecting the whole nation as a whole. Not just in New York, but here in Oakland too, because people have lost jobs at the airport. People that had jobs cleaning up, and if no one's flying the planes, around in the airplanes, who will have jobs to clean the airplanes up? Who have jobs to bring the bags in? Those little small jobs.
They just gave the airline $15 billion. $15 billion to help the airlines to create some security magnets, and they're going to be cameraing all your body before you come into the plane now and everything. Well, I support all those things. Anything that can make people not to blow up planes, of course. I mean, I'm in the air too. I don't want to be blown up. Because,
But we have to be careful, though. We have to be careful what's coming.
When do we become Americans?
You have to.
September 11. We became Americans September 11. On September 11, year 2000, we all became Americans. But before then, we all weren't all Americans.
Huh?
No, well,
until then, huh?
No, you're either on the side of the United States now. If you stay neutral, you're with the terrorists. So I'm neutral. I don't want no war. My congresswoman said no to war. She represents my views, and she did a perfect job.
And I'm the same way like you. I'm neutral too, because she's done a wonderful job by standing up and listening.
The only woman in America. God bless her.
All right, you take Take care, bro.
Thank you, brother. Thank
Later.
you.
Yeah, I mean,
we are very, very proud of you.
we need to be
Barbara, you will always be in our memory for life, for standing up for justice. Justice. Justice.
We need to be very, very careful because the way things is going in this country, we're going to lose our freedom entirely. But there's going to be different forms you're going to run out to fill out before you can get your airline tickets. There's going to be different forms now to fill out now, an identification before you can get a passport. A lot of things in this country, your driver's license, you're renewing just going out and renewing your registration of your car. A lot of things is going to change.
All the Americans who are saying revenge,
and
bomb them. I think they don't realize that it's their freedom that they're going to lose. Osama is already lost.
Listen, I come from a third world country. I know what lack of freedom is all about. Believe me, you don't want that. You're going to be checkpoints and things like that that's going to happen. So we better watch it. Don't get carried away by all of this. We better use our head now.
Use our head. I know a lot of people lost their life, but we definitely pray for their soul. We are sorry for their family, but let's get to the facts. What really happened? Let's take that call. Caller, you're on the air. How you doing?
Hi. How you guys doing today?
Oh, we're fine, thank you.
The last two callers, I kind of agree with them because, you know what I'm saying? I feel like, until the terrorists hit, all of a sudden we Americans. But as black people, you know what I'm saying? We don't have nothing. We don't get help or nothing. But all of a sudden they want us to come fight somebody else's war. You feel what I'm saying? I don't feel like we should be able to fight no war. We already at war. You know what I'm saying? We're at war with the Europeans. You know what I'm saying? They don't even try to give us the benefit of the doubt. It's hard for young people to do anything. Like in Oakland, you know what I'm saying? It's hard for us to even live and survive right now. We can't even get housing. So how are we going to go and fight somebody else's war?
Homelessness is a war.
Yeah. They put drugs in our neighborhood, unemployment, racial profiling, the cops following you all over.
Everywhere.
That is a war on our race, a war on our community. Let's talk about the internal war here.
Internal war now.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, it's like we got to sit up here. We trying to fight war, but we already at war. It's brothers that's getting killed today, every day. You know what I'm saying? Young brothers are getting killed every day for nothing. You know what I'm saying? And we got to come together as ourselves first before we can go help somebody else.
I agree.
You feel what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Like we have problem in Africa right now. You know what I'm saying? Bush want us to be American, but as people, we got to help our own people before we can help anybody else.
Exactly.
I understand that that the terrorists hit, but I feel like
they hit anybody. They don't care.
The president. I feel like the president is just covering up. He did something. He was over there messing with the people, you know what I'm saying? They having their own. They trying to live, and they at war at their own thing, and it's like he pushing himself over there, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like, I'm not on nobody's side. I feel like the only thing I need to try to help is my people, black people, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I said, too.
You're right, and I understand that there was a lot of people out there, and a lot of people got killed. You feel what I'm saying? Black people
we sad about. Look, Nigerians alone in that building, 98
Nigerians died.
Is that right?
That's just one country in Africa. Not to talk about we have 54 nations
there. Everybody lost
lives.
Right.
Everybody lost lives. Not just every nation.
If you don't support revenge on the terrorists now, does that make you a terrorist? If you don't support Bush, so you are now a terrorist because that's what he said yesterday.
We're terrorists. We're not. At first I couldn't even stand Bush, to tell you the truth, and I'm not even going to lie to you because I feel like when he got up there, the president, he wasn't trying to help everybody. I feel like it's like towards the white.
They even take the black votes away so that he can become president. They say forget about the black votes.
Exactly.
That was the crime right there. That was terrorism.
Exactly.
Of our votes.
Okay. And then you got black people today that's trying to get up there high as Bush and be the president and stuff, and they're like, no black people can't get up there. Only thing you see is the presidents is coming up is white. You know what I'm saying? So how should we feel? I don't feel like that's equal. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden we're Americans and we gotta, come together.
Sister, you are very brilliant.
You're smart.
We are very proud of your intuition.
Thank you very much.
Your vast knowledge of the understanding of this country. We need more sisters like you to look because sometimes I have argument with some of the sisters. They say, well, them Arabs, Them Arabs, you know, all Arabs are not terrorists.
Exactly. I mean, I'm not looking at the people that's over here. I mean, we all over here living. You feel what I'm saying?
This place is an Indians' man's land, after all.
This is not even your land. You terrorized everybody. Brought slaves from Africa, still terrorizing us still today.
Exactly.
We thank you, sister.
Thank you so much for your call. Thanks.
Please continue to call. We like your knowledge. We like your contribution.
That was a
but
good
we're learning
idea.
from that, and we appreciate you. Okay?
We got to use our head about this whole thing.
Yes.
Think, and just say, Lord's going. We'll be right back after the break.
See you in a minute.
So I just thank you. I thank you, Mr. Johnson. I'm just overwhelmed, really.
God has been good to me. And my doubts, they have been few.
Back in the woods in Detroit, and his mom and daddy was slaves, and they went down the Underground Railroad, and
Something about the way you touch me, something about the way you squeeze me, girl, make me feel real good. You make me feel real nice. Don't you know you make me feel nice? You make me feel real nice. Don't you know you make me feel nice?
Are you going to be mayor next time?
Oh, I'm out.
Ladies and gentlemen,
if I just believe it, there's nothing to it. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky.